The arrival of the three signatories at the Guatemalan Foreign Ministry commenced the signing ceremony on Monday. Once seated, the three parties, Belize's Foreign Minister Wilfred Elrington, Guatemala's Foreign Minister Carlos Raul Morales, and the Secretary General of the OAS José Miguel Insulza, in his last official appearance as head of the hemispheric body, proceeded to sign the protocol to the special agreement between Belize and Guatemala to submit Guatemala's territorial, insular, and maritime claim to the International Court of Justice. The protocol makes official the amendment to the historic 2008 special agreement, specifically Article 7.2, which will now state, the referendum will be held simultaneously or separately on the dates most convenient to the parties. For Belizeans, the lingering questions since the disclosure of the amendment have been why the change is necessary and why at this time. Minister Elrington explained that the original 2008 agreement did not take into consideration that holding simultaneous referenda would prove to be so problematic.
The protocol to amend the special agreement we have signed today seeks to secure that oversight. The amendment provides the option for any of our two governments to proceed to hold its referendum separately on a date and at a time that each government, in its own deliberate judgment, deems most convenient for so doing. It is worthy of note that the amended protocol does not extinguish the possibility of holding the referendum simultaneously. That original option remains intact. The protocol does no more than add an element of flexibility with respect to the time for the holding of each national referendum. The special agreement remains the same in all other respects. It is of significance to note that the special agreement as amended treats not only with the protocol for going to the International Court of Justice, but it also sets out clear procedures to be followed relating to the implementation of the decision of the court.
Foreign Minister Carlos Raul Morales spoke of his country's commitment to resolving the age-old dispute and that the possibility of separate referenda may expedite the process.
The dispute that exists between Belize and Guatemala is a matter of deep concern for us. It is for this reason that we have been holding discussions for some time. I don't remember for how long, because it's been many months, maybe more than 1 year, about the possibility precisely to be able to hold the protocol that we are signing today. We cannot wait any longer because we have already wasted too much important time in history, and we have to put an end to it. And of course we are going to do that in the International Court of Justice. This is a commitment that we have made, and we have made with our Belizean brethren. Therefore, the very intelligent decision of signing this protocol that makes it possible for us to hold consultations simultaneously or not, I think is the best decision we have made. And as of now, we will try to consider the fact that we have more freedom to hold these referendums that will allow us to be at the International Court of Justice as soon as possible.
Also present at the signing ceremony was former Foreign Minister of Guatemala, Geraldo Rodas. Rodas signed the original special agreement on behalf of Guatemala at the OAS headquarters in Washington, D.C. in 2008.
Creo que el proceso de este acuerdo entre Guatemala y Belice es un proceso que hay que verlo en sentido positivo. Lo que se está firmando el día de hoy viene a facilitar para que las consultas entre ambos países puedan ser lo mejor posible para obtener el mejor resultado posible. En ese sentido creo que va a facilitar el proceso, independientemente que es una opinión personal. Esto tiene que pasar a la instancia de política en el Congreso aquí en Guatemala y ojalá que la respuesta sea positiva.
Canada is a member of the International Group of Friends of Belize and Guatemala. High Commissioner to Belize and Ambassador to Guatemala Stuart Savage says his country is still very much committed to the process.
I'd like to congratulate Belize and Guatemala for their flexibility, creativity, and their continued commitment to trying to find a peaceful and democratic solution to this long-standing conflict over territory between them. As a friend of Belize and of Guatemala, we're delighted that another step has been taken to show that creativity and find ways that will address the interests and protect the interests of both sides so that a peaceful and long-term solution can be found through the International Court of Justice. Canada has been a friend of the process from the very beginning and will be there through to the end. We've helped contribute to keeping the office of the OAS in the adjacency zone alive for the time it's been there, and we'll be open to keeping our support going in the future as needs arise.
Although signed by the Guatemalan Foreign Minister, the protocol must still be submitted to the Guatemalan Congress for approval. Reporting from Guatemala City for News 5 Live, I am Marlene Cuellar.